Hi everyone, and welcome back to my new kitchen. I'm very excited to be filming my very first video recipe at this new location, and today I'll be sharing a recipe that's perfect for the end of summer. I'll be making my fig and honey cake, and figs are just the ripest and sweetest at the end of summer, which makes them perfect for putting into this cake. This cake has no sugar, just figs and honey for sweetening, and it's absolutely delicious. Perfect with a cup of coffee in the morning, or you could save it for the afternoon and enjoy with a glass of wine. Let me show you how to make this delicious cake. Into my stand mixer bowl, I'm going to add 7 large eggs, and I'm going to whisk these on high speed for about 7 to 8 minutes until the eggs are really thick and pale in color. Next, I'm going to pour in half a cup of honey and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I'm going to mix this again on medium speed for about a minute. Next up, I have my dry ingredients. I've measured out 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and just a pinch of salt. Combine that all together, and we're going to sift that into the eggs. And I recommend sifting the dry ingredients into the egg mixture just a little bit at a time. Sift that in and then fold it gently after each addition. And last, I'm going to add in half a cup of melted butter. Let it cool down a little bit before you add it into the mixture. And I also have half a cup of fig preserves. And then gently fold in those last 2 ingredients. I have my oven preheated to 335 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to be using a 9-inch springform pan. I've lined the bottom with parchment paper, but I didn't grease the sides. You want to leave the sides ungreased. And then when you're folding in the figs and the butter, they like to settle down into the bottom of the mixing bowl because they're a little bit heavier. So just make sure you get those mixed in really well. And then pour that batter into the pan. And this cake is ready to hit the oven. It's going to bake for about 40 to 45 minutes. You want that top to be completely set. And this is a sponge cake, so you can always test for the doneness by pressing lightly into the center. And when it springs back, it's ready to come out of the oven. Once it's out of the oven, just let it sit on a wire cooling rack and let it cool completely. And while my cake is cooling on the wire rack, I'm going to slice up some figs to place on the top. I have some green and purple figs today. And once your cake has cooled, you can go ahead and transfer it onto a cake stand and then just add the fresh figs right on top. And then drizzle the top with more honey. And let's take a slice out of this cake so you guys can see what it looks like on the inside. Check that out. It's just such a tender, moist cake. We've got the fig preserves that settled on the bottom. We've got fresh figs on top. The honey just kind of soaks in. This is a perfect slice of cake. And that's it, guys, for my fig and honey cake. And let me tell you, my whole house has the most incredible, mouth-watering aroma. This cake smells so good when it's in the oven. Now, I like to serve it with a little cheese board. I have some brie cheese on there, some extra honey, some extra figs for your guests to enjoy with this cake. And time to dig in. Just love the texture of this cake. It's really light and fluffy. I'm gonna grab a little bit of brie cheese, a little piece of some fresh fig. I love fresh figs in the summertime. When they're really ripe and juicy, they're almost jammy and sweet. You guys are in for a real treat with this cake. It is so incredibly delicious. Every bite is just packed with so much incredible flavor. You've got the honey, the figs, and then that cake is really tender and moist, just kind of crumbles and melts into your mouth. And then adding the brie cheese on the side just takes all these flavors to a whole new level. You guys are going to love this. If you love figs, if you love honey, if you love brie cheese, if you just want an excellent cake to enjoy after dinner with a glass of wine, this is it. Head down into my video description box where you'll find a link that'll take you over to my blog where you can print this recipe off, save it to Pinterest, and share it with your family and friends. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video recipe and my new kitchen. I'm really excited to be filming new recipes here. I'll see you guys next time.